Hello, my friends, and welcome. I hope you're doing fine. And today we do a next exercise of exorcism. It's called Bob. Let's have a look into it. Okay, so here's our exercise, Bob. So let's see what we need to do, like to what is called. So to have in mind what we need, how to solve this exercise. Okay, so we need a pattern recognition and a polymorphism. Uh, Pattern recognition we did, so it's basically regular expressions and stuff like that. So you recognize the pattern. And polymorphism is something new. If you didn't watch the polymorphism video, I will link it here, I think, or the other way. So you can watch that, and then you can come back and continue. So let's look what we need to do. So Bob, it's lackadaisical teenager. I hope that's how you spell it. Oh, show no interest. Okay. Teenager. In conversation, his responses are very limited. Bob answers sure if you ask him a question such as how are you. So if you ask him a question, he says sure. What a weird guy. He asks, "Wow, chill out," if you yell at him, in all capitals. Okay. If you yell at him, he says, "Wow, chill out." Okay. He answers, "Calm down. I know what I'm doing," if you yell a question at him. Okay, so if you have capital letters and a question mark at the end. Okay. So see, pattern recognition. He says, "Fine. Be that way," if you address him without actually saying anything. Okay, what does that mean? Like, you say nothing? Like an empty string, maybe? Yeah. He says whatever to anything else. Okay. Partner is purist when it comes to written communication and always follow normal rules regarding sentence punctuation in English. All right, let's download and open terminal. By the way, I started to use Hyper as a terminal. If you like and if you're interested, I can show you how I installed it and how I put all of this interesting plugins and stuff like that. If you're interested, say I'm interested in the comment or whatever. Okay, so Exercism, let's go. So download it there. So let's go to here basically. And let's see what we have here. Okay, we have, so let's open our lib. And then let's open our test. Okay, cool. So let's close this. Let's have a look. So in here we have only a class. It's empty. There's nothing in there. Okay, what we have here? We have our stuff. Let's use Dart pad. Okay. So cool. Let's make it bigger. Okay. Cool. So what we need is the following. So we said we need to use pattern recognition to recognize, for example, is it a question? Is someone yelling at Bob? Is it yelling with a question? And stuff like that. Okay. So we see here we need the class is called Bob. And then we need something like response as a method. Okay. So let's do that. So we have here our main. And okay, in our file, like in here, in here we don't have main because, and I see a lot of people doing this. Don't include your main, yeah, the main method in here because you don't need it. Okay, you need it here because this Dartpad, the compiler need to go to the main method first. Our main method is already in here, so we have the main method in here. Okay, cool. So this is our main method, and we need a class. It's called Bob. So the class, it's coming from here. It's Bob. Okay. So we have Bob. So what can we do with Bob? So we said it has a method. It's called response. So let's do that. So it returns a string, and it's called response, like that. Yeah. It takes a string. So let's call it saying whatever. And then it returns something. Okay. So that's Bob. Oh, no. I need to do not this, this. Cool. So we have this response. So this is our first thing. So what we need to do is now is to make this pattern recognition to say, okay, is it now a question? Is it now a yelling thing? Is it now whatever? Okay. So we do it inside here because we have, we have, we have only this. So we get the response. It says Tomya, whatever. And then, yeah, we say whatever. Okay. So first thing, what we need to do, let's do the polymorphism thing first. Okay. So usually I will say, okay, if it's polymorph, we just say, okay, this is the class Bob, and Bob is like, as I explained, is an animal in that example in the polymorphism thing. So watch it. So if we have an animal as an abstract class, and then we have cat and dog. So in that example, we said a cat says meow and dog says woof, and we have the animal class, and it changed the shape of that variable. Okay, so in here it says must have a method body because Bob isn't abstract. So usually I will do something like that, abstract class, and then say, okay, every other class that inherits Bob, it should have this response method. Okay, so let's do that. Let's say our first class, it's the question, as we see it. So here, so it says ask him a question. It says how are you? Okay, so question extends Bob. Okay, so in here we say string response, and then we have string saying, and then we say return. What do we need to do? Return. Sure. So we return this. Okay. So you can basically also put the override here because you're overriding this, but in here you see we don't need it at the moment. Okay, so you do the same here as for if you yell at him. Okay, so we say here yell, and if we yell at him, he says watch load, like that. Copy this and paste it in here. Okay. And then we have yellow question. Oops. Wait. So we have yell and question like this. So, and then we say here, calm down, I know what I'm doing. All right. Cool. Something. Yeah, so because we have this in here, we can basically do this. Or we do, it's the, in my opinion, the better way to put it in like double quotes. Like this. And this. Okay, perfect. And we copy this, paste it in here. So calm down. He says fine if you address him with nothing. So we say here nothing, and then he responds fine, be that way. We add it in here. And at the end, if this is else, so he says whatever, okay? We can say here else, and then we can say he says whatever. Okay, so we have our class, and we have the inheritance of that class. So every time, like if we need to recognize if it's yelling, so we say, okay, call the response one. Is it whatever, call the other one. Okay, so basically what we need to do is to create we create a Bob, and then so when we do this, it will not work out because it's an abstract class. So Bob is abstract class, so we cannot do this one. So what we need to do is to create a Bob that it is already has something. So basically we can say Bob is else, because yeah, we don't find anything, so it's else anyways. Cool. If we print Bob dot response and we say whatever. So now, because it's else, it says whatever. See? So now it's, so in the polymorphism example video, I had animal. So animal is equivalent now to Bob, and else is cat. So animal is cat now, or cat is an animal. In our example, else is Bob. So if nothing else, so we can say the response is Bob, okay? So now we can say Bob is equal to, yeah, for example, question. And if that's the case, let's see what we are getting here. So let's do it like that. So the first one is whatever, and now the shape of Bob changed. Okay, so this is basically polymorphism. So now it's sure, and then we can go on and do basically the same for all of them. But I hope you got the idea. So let's take this one. and put it in here. So now the shape changed, and it says, calm down, I know what I'm doing. So I don't need this one. So let's correct that. Okay, cool. So now what we basically need, we need a pattern recognition. So if we get the response, the string in the response, so we say, okay, is it yelling? Is it this? Is it that? And then we say, okay, on that, we give it either question, or it's a yell, or it's an else, or whatever. Okay, cool. So the pattern recognition, I will do like copy paste, but in this stage you probably know what all of this means. Okay, so I'll I never tried if I can comment out this. No, I cannot. Unfortunate. Okay. Maybe you can, but I don't know at the moment. So what we need to do is we have Bob and then Bob.response. So in here we need to have Bob, and if you see, it's, so we cannot say it's an abstract class, unfortunately. So it will be easier if this is an abstract, but it's not, because it's calling Bob. So what we need to do is to delete this, and now we need to do this, to give it a body. Okay, so let's do this first. So Bob is Bob. Okay, and then we say Bob dot. Let's copy this, and let's take the first example. So it should return whatever. All right, cool. So now this unfortunately will not work. Why? Because it's not an abstract anymore. So now we need to basically define it. So if we're getting this saying thing, okay, and in there is this thing, and now we need to do some pattern recognition. So I'll copy all of these things, because as I said, it's at this stage you need to know what all of this does. So let's copy this and paste it in here. All right. Okay, so the next problem we have is that Bob is not defined in here. Bob is defined in main. So we take it out and make it global. So it's Bob is now available everywhere. Okay. Okay, I need to change this. Okay, so basically our string, the parameter here is now going through this pattern recognition thing, and then it says, okay, we trim it, we put in uppercase and say it contains all of this, and if this is true, then it says yell a question. If this is true, is only yell. If this true, is a question. If this true, is trim. If this true, is the else thing. Okay. So we have this, and if we run it, hopefully, whatever. Yes. Cool. So yeah, basically this is how they want, I guess, to do it with the polymorphism. So Bob in this stage, if it's a yell and question, we say, okay, Bob is now yell and question. If Bob is only yell, so all capital letters, we say, okay, it's a yell. If it ends with a question mark, so it's a question. Is it empty? So nothing, and else. Okay. So in my opinion, this is the polymorphism way to do this, and it works. So let's take another example. Yeah, let's make the question one. So it returns sure. Let's see if this will work. Let's run it. Sure. Cool. So let's put it in here without the main method. So is this open still? Cool. So first we need to get the not pug dart pub get. So we need to get the dependencies. Cool. So now we can run the test. And hopefully, oh no, we need to skip. This happens to a lot of people. They skip that they don't skip stuff. Oh, it fails. Okay. Expected. Okay, there's a point. There's a dot. So whatever dot. Cool. Let's change this skip to false everywhere. Let's do that quickly. I got the question if there's another way to do this, like to change this skip to false easier, but unfortunately, no, sorry, or I don't know. So until now, there's no way to do that. If you know it, you can, of course, comment that in the comment section. But as far as I know, there's no way you can make it easier. So you need to do it manually, unfortunately. But hey, so finished. Okay, cool. Let's run our test again. Let's put it here, and hopefully, fingers crossed. No fingers crossed. Okay, what's the problem? So sure thought we did that, right? Yeah. So let me clear this and run the test again. Okay. So wow. Sure. Sure, it has a dot at the end. This happens when you copy paste stuff. So what's wrong here? It doesn't have the exclamation thing. So it's sure again. Sure. Okay, it seems like it's okay now. Let's check that again. And yeah, so it's stupid mistakes. But this is one way to solve this. One student, he solved this in a really cool way, and I wanted to show you this as well. He used extension. If you don't know what extension is, I'll link the other video that I did about extensions, so you can watch that as well. And it's really cool, nice way to do it. So basically, we can delete all of this except the class Bob. Okay, let's remove this. Yeah, we can leave this actually. Okay, so the main method just give us this one. Okay, so remove this as well. Okay, so what we will do now is to say, okay, we have this string that we're getting anyways, okay? And based on that string, we will add methods to the string. So we have this string library and we want to add more methods to it. So how can we do that? We use extension. So in the class Bob, we say extension on string. So on, yeah, we're expanding the string. Cool. Need to do it outside. Okay. So the first thing is we just give it a bool, so true or false. Based on that, we can say, okay, is it true? Is it yell? Yes, no. So true. So we use get on this is question. And then we use trim. So we have our string dot ends with and then we say it ends with a question mark. Okay, so this string now we can. So this is basically the string that we're getting. If you go in here, it should say, come on, no? Okay, usually this is the string that you're getting. For example, this one. So you trim it, it says it ends with a question mark, yes or no. So basically you do it like that. So I'll copy the other ones as well. So the second one is yelling. So we say, basically it's the same pattern like the recognition as before that we did. So we say it's yelling and it's nothing is if it's empty, okay? Cool. Now, what we can do here is that we say, let's do it like that. Saying, so this is our string that we get, is question. So you see the the is stuff that now is available for us. So is question is, for example, available. So we say, is it a question? And saying is yelling. So if this is true, what can we do? So if this is true, if we go back, so we see here yell and question. So we need to give it this back, okay? Cool. So we use the ternary operator here. I'll put it in here so we can see it better. So if that's true, we give it calm down, I know what I'm doing. Else is saying dot is question. Okay. So if it's question, we give it the sure thing. Okay. So we're nesting now stuff. So we say, calm down, I know what I'm doing. And then the question, we say either is if it's true, calm down, I know what I'm doing. So we say, is it a question? No. Let's go back. So if this is true, we say, calm down, I'm doing. If not, we ask again, okay, is it a question? If yes, then we give it sure. If no, we ask if is saying is yelling. If that's true, then we say just copy this so I don't do a lot of mistakes. Okay. Otherwise is saying dot is nothing. Okay. If this is true, we give it fine, be that way. If nothing is true, we get whatever. Whoops. Didn't copy. Let me do that again. So cool. All right. So basically you can do it like this as well. So let me run this and see what happens. So we get sure. So basically what we did here, we extended this string library or class, whatever, to include these methods, okay? And these methods, what they do, they say, okay, we trim it, it's ending with this. If it's true, you get true. If not, it's you get false, okay? So it's true false thing. So you say this is question, this method is yelling, this method is nothing. And then you basically say, okay, is saying is question and is yelling. If it's true, you get this. If it's not true, you ask him again, okay, is it a question? If it's true, you say sure. If not, you ask him, is it yelling? If it's true, you give him this. If not, you ask him, is it nothing? If yes, you give it this way. If nothing else is true, you say whatever. Okay? So it's really, really cool way to solve this. So yeah, let's copy this and let's put it here as well and see if this works. So let's delete this. I don't think we need this bob thing here as well. All right, so cool. So now let's run this. Dart run test. Cool. So these are the two ways you can solve this exercise. There are definitely more ways you can solve this exercise, but the first one is like they were saying when you look at this, when you go back, when you say, yeah, please use polymorphism. So you saw how you can use solve it with polymorphism. And then I give you a second solution is doing with extend. So you learn more about extend. So yeah, you learned two new concepts. The first one is polymorphism. The second one is extend. and basically solve this exercise. Cool. If you find this helpful and you could solve this exercise, leave me a like and sub to my channel. I'll do the next exercises. And until then, stay healthy. See you. Steve out. Ciao.